Hey guys, welcome back to DCS and welcome back to the Red Air series in the DCS MiG-15bis, guys. So this is the final video for the MiG-15bis in this series, guys. And in today's video we'll be covering navigation, specifically radio navigation using the ARC-V radio navigation system right here. So at the moment we're overflying the Mozdok airfield. And guys, just today as I'm recording this video, I just finished downloading the Razbam MiG-15P. So by the time you guys are watching this video, I'm reading through the manual, and you guys can look forward to many videos on the MiG-15P that is just come out right now. Now naturally that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to cover the MiG-19P after the MiG-15bis in this series, guys. So let's get started. So you can turn on the navigation system using this circuit breaker here. You have to turn this on, labeled ADF marker. Then you want to come down here and make sure that this is in the up position, in the ADF position, and also over here to the left where it says homing, far, near. I'm gonna go ahead and explain that to you guys right now. So this is a little bit ambiguous, okay? But from what I understand, it is that if it's in the far position, the range for the frequency is controlled by this panel right here. But if it's in the near position, like so, it will be controlled. The range for the NDBs will be controlled by any of these three preset NDB buttons right there. Now currently these don't work. I'm not sure if it's a bug for open beta or what it is, but I'm not able to get these to work. These used to work about a year ago. About a year and a half ago when I flew the MiG-15, you could operate these. You could basically go into the mission editor and preset a NDB frequency to one of these three buttons, and it will work from there. But at the moment there's no way to be able to preset anything in the mission editor for these three different NDBs. So with that said, and also if this gets to work again, you can basically, as I said, preset a frequency and then select one. You have to only turn on one at a time. If you turn two at a time, it will basically fry the ARC-V navigation system. So with that said, let's move this to the far position. Now for the time being, you have to have it in the far position if you want to work from this panel right here. So this is, as I said, the ARC-V panel right here, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about these two compasses right here, this and this one. Now this is the radio compass. Basically this is giving us the relative bearing or the azimuth to an NDB station that we have locked onto. So the 0 position is the 12 o'clock of our aircraft. The 180 position is the behind us basically, and 090 is our 3 o'clock, and 270 is our 9 o'clock. This is not a magnetic heading, guys. This is just giving us an azimuth, a relative heading to the NDB station, relative to our aircraft position. Okay, so this is not a magnetic heading. This is your magnetic heading compass right here, and it's this aircraft. So at the moment we're on the left hand bank, and as you can see we're moving down. So this is giving us our magnetic heading, and you can use this button here, this knob here, to basically set a desired heading on the compass, okay, using this thing right here. And when these two line up, you're on your desired heading, but this is giving you your magnetic heading. And also if you want to correct any misalignments in the magnetic compass, you got to hold this down for a couple of seconds and it will align basically. Okay, so that's very important to not to mix up. This is not a magnetic heading. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn on the let me basically, before I turn it on, let me go to the F10 map and show you guys what NDBs we'll be selecting. And now, as I said, we're overflying currently in a cloud, but we're overflying the Mozdok airfield, and we want to fly to Nalchik. We want to fly to Nalchik airfield somewhere over there. Okay, so I'm going to go to the F10 map, and I'm going to explain to you guys which NDBs we're going to choose and how we do that. Okay guys, so here we are. We're in the mission editor map. So there's Mozdok, and we want to fly down to null check. Okay, so the mission editor map gives you a little bit more detail on the NDBs than the F10 map. So we want to guide off this NDB station right here. It's 718 kilohertz of frequency. There's various different NDBs around the map, the Caucasus map as well as the other maps. For example, this one right here, that's another NDB. So as long as it is within the range of 150 to 1,300 kilohertz, you can tune into it with the MiG-15's ARC-5 radio navigation system. Now there are various different documentations that you'll find in the DCS folder that will list the various different NDBs on all the different maps. So let's go ahead and get back into the cockpit and let's navigate to null check. Okay guys, welcome back. So we're going to select the NDB for the outer marker on null check, which is at 718 kilohertz. Now, the ARC-5 on the MiG-15bis works on a range of 150 to 1,300 kilohertz range, and this has been basically cut up into three different bands. So 150 to 310, 310 to 640, 640 to 1,300. So we're going to be selecting this right here, because we're looking for 718 kilohertz, okay, 718 kilohertz. Now to turn it on, you can select any of these modes, but it's best to put it into antenna because it will give you a clearer Morse code signal from the NDB station. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. We can turn down the volume using this knob here. Now you want to leave this button in the down position. Don't play around with that. This doesn't really do anything. It's just the difference between the two modes, the telegraph mode and the telephone mode. Every single NDB here works in telephone mode, so just leave it in there. This controls the backlight for this panel here. Over here, this gives us our signal strength to the NDB that we've selected. And as I said, this is the volume knob. Okay, and this is the tuning knob here. So basically you can use it to tune to a specific frequency, and you select it here on this window. Now I've got to constantly check outside to make sure that we don't crash into the ground. Okay, now the comp mode is the mode that basically gives you a relative bearing here on this compass. If you just have it in the antenna mode, which is what we have right now, you will only hear the Morse code. Okay. And on the loop mode, okay, which is this mode right here, using this, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but using this thing right here, you can manually move the ARC-5 antenna right or left, basically. Okay, so I'll look at that later on. I'll show you guys what that does later on. So for now, let's go to comp, and let's go to 718, just making sure that I don't crash. Nope. Okay. So let's go to 718. So that's 900, 800, and 700. Okay. Now each of these tick marks represents 10 kilohertz. So 718, so that's 710, 720, so it should be right around here. Okay. There we go. Nice. Good signal strength. And let's see where the compass points. So I'm going to go ahead and straighten out the aircraft. And there we go. Did you guys hear that? Let me turn up the volume. Okay, so the compass says it's at our 1 o'clock. There we go. So that's the Morse code for the null check outer marker. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the aircraft so that the radio compass needle points to the 0 position. Basically so that we're directly flying towards the NDB. There we go. Excellent. So we're directly flying towards the NDB now. Now as I said, this is our relative heading, okay? Our magnetic heading is at almost 250, okay, so we're flying at a heading of 250, but the NDB is directly in front of us. So let's go ahead and fly to null check. Now how do we know once we get there? Because it doesn't give us any ranging information, right? The MiG-21 system gives you ranging information. but in the MiG-15 you don't get any ranging information. So basically your indication that you've overflown the marker is this compass basically pointer will go ahead and point to the 6 o'clock position. So as soon as it does that, you know you've overflown it. And if it's a marker like ours, you'll also get a light here as well, that the marker light will flash if your altitude is within 3,000 meters, and you also hear a tone on the buzzer as well. Now there are documents in your DCS folder that will give you the positions and the frequencies for almost all of the NDB stations located on all of the maps, as well as their identification Morse codes as well. You can find that in your DCS folder. Now if there's wind present, your aircraft will begin to drift, so you need to make sure that this thing always points at the 0 position. So Nalchik should be out there somewhere. Now guys, let's talk about this loop option, okay? So this is a way for you to manually move the ARC-V antenna, okay? So at the moment it's automatic, it's set to automatic, and it's working, it's basically looking directly at that NDB station that we've tuned, okay? So this is a way to test that your ARC-V system works, okay? So let's go ahead and select loop, and then I'm going to go ahead using this. You see the L and the R? That's basically moving the antenna right or left using this thing here. Now it's a spring-loaded switch, so you have to hold the mouse button in order for it to stay there. So I'm going to go ahead and move this antenna to the left, and you'll see the compass moving left. So this is basically designed for manual searching for an NDB basically. Now let's move it right, and now you'll see it moving right. This basically allows you to manually search for an NDB station, and it's a good way to check that your ARC-V system does work. Now, now you can see that I've moved it. Now if we select the comp position again, this needle should go back to the 12 o'clock, pointing directly at the NDB that we selected before at Nalchik. So let's go ahead and do that. And there we go. The needle is in fact moving back to the NDB station, so our ARC-V system is working. So that's another way to check that your ARC-V system is working. The ARC-V system has a range limit of about 200 kilometers, so that's on the MiG-15. That is, it is actually pretty good. 200 kilometers is not too bad. I mean, since this aircraft is a 1950s aircraft, guys, so it's not too bad. Now guys, as I said, the MiG-19P is already out, and I've just finished downloading it. So if you guys like this series, if you like the MiG-15 or the Red Air series, be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, because I'll be doing a lot of videos on the MiG-19P very shortly. We'll be looking at everything that we looked at here on the MiG-15. Basically, we're going to do that on the MiG-19 as well, starting with cockpit familiarization, startup, radio taxi, so on and so forth. Now, the most exciting thing for me, guys, is that when you move from the MiG-15 to the MiG-19, you can see the technological development of aviation, basically, for that time period. And then eventually we'll move on to the MiG-21 and MiG-23 as well. And also this month we're expecting the the release of the F-14 Tomcat as well by heat blur simulations. So that should be really, really exciting as well, guys. And also Eagle Dynamics has announced that they're doing a F-16 Block 50 module as well. How exciting is that? That's probably my favorite aircraft. The F-16 Block 50 is my favorite aircraft of the whole modern sort of series of aircraft. And I'm going to go ahead and just speculate. Now this is just pure speculation, but I'm going to go ahead and speculate that the F-16 for early access will be out by July this year. And I'm making this comment here on March, okay? So I think the F-16, we're going to get an early access F-16 module by July. That's my speculation. What do you guys think? You think it's too early? In my opinion, and as I said, this is just an opinion. This is not based on any facts or anything. The F-14 Tomcat will be out next week, in my opinion. Fingers crossed that there's nothing wrong, or there's no bugs or anything like that. Okay, let's see what we can see. Ah, there it is. There it is. That's the Nalchik airfield, and as you can see, it's pointing a little to the left. So as you can see, it works. The Arc 5 system is quite rudimentary, but it works. It's good enough for the aircraft that we're in. As I said, this is a 1950s 50s jet. So now, as we get closer to the NDB station, and you can probably see it. It's down there. Yeah, there we go. That's the NDB station, guys. That complex is the NDB station right there. And when we overfly it, you'll both hear a marker sound as well as the buzzer, and this, you can see the needle. There we go. The needle will go to the 180 position. There we go. So this is an indication that we've overflown the marker, and we've successfully navigated to Nalchik. Now if you wanted to go back to Mozdok, we can go ahead and select a NDB at Mozdok and head back there. Now guys, this is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. This is it for the navigation systems of the MiG-15bis. And with that, I'm going to bring this series for the MiG-15bis to a close. This is the last video. For those of you who watched, for those of you who will be watching in the future, thank you so much for watching. And I wish you all many fun, enjoyable, and safe hours of flying in the MiG-15bis. And I will see you guys in the MiG-19. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.